And we're live.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Hope you're having a great week. Here we are with Daily Hi-Fi. Every week we come at you just hanging out, having a good time, talking about audio and video, home theater, 2-channel. So we're going to have some fun tonight. We got Joe and Tell, of course, Aaron, myself. John will be joining us just a little bit later. Hope you guys are doing well. What's going on, fellas?
What's up? And for you guys out there, Michael like really talks like that. That excited inflection? That's not just for YouTube. He just showed me a
That's
video
kind of
earlier
me,
from
man.
his vacation, and they're shoveling ice. He's like, "Yeah, man, let's go. You guys gonna owe me some sodas?" I don't know. He's saying all kinds of stuff, but he's hyped up about shoveling snow.
I just get fun, man.
He is.
Life is too short not to have fun.
Yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, you just came back from vacation?
I did, man. We had a disaster of flight. Man, if you're going to the airport, holy cow, because of all these storms and everything, we had four of our group miss the flight probably by 2 minutes. We got hung up because we had 11 people. 2 of their IDs didn't work for whatever reason. They didn't recognize them. So we were struggling with that. Then my daughter-in-law got hung up at security because she had breast milk. And they're like, they didn't know what to do with it. It's like, seriously, man, come on, man.
I was
it's not
slightly
a bomb.
not paying attention just for a second, and I was
it's like, come on, man.
Security because she had some breast milk.
We were hustling, man, hustling. But I've never, ever, ever in my life seen so many people at an airport in line. It was ridiculous. We can get in and out of Tampa. Like if you get there 2 hours early, you're well within time. You pretty much need to be there at least 3 hours early for Orlando. It was a zoo.
That's crazy.
Anyways, it was cool, but we got separated into 4 different groups, 4 different flights for 11 people. So it was wild. But we got there, we had a blast, man. It was snowing when we got there. Tons of snow everywhere, powder on the slopes for the first 2 days. And then it rained like the night of the second day. So the snow got kind of pretty hard and on day 3, but we still had a blast, man. It was super good just to get away, not think about work, not think about social media, not think about YouTube or videos or websites or nothing. And just hang out with the family, enjoyed hanging time with my grandson. He was there. That was his first flights, first time seeing snow, which he'll never remember, but it was just awesome, man. It was a good trip.
Well, that's good that you spend time on vacation and just do vacation stuff because I'm also on vacation.
Yeah, no, I see that, dude.
But I'm here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I gotta work on that a little bit. Maybe
I like, and I can't say I 100% unplugged because I was still answering comments and replying to some emails, but for the most part, man, it was like it's family time. Not really worried about it. That stuff will always be there.
Yeah.
So you'll never regret spending time with your family ever.
Yeah.
So unless you get a divorce.
Oh, come on, man.
Certain family, I guess.
Certain family.
Yeah. Vacationing. We're over here in the snow, and what's kind of cool is
and you got a big storm coming your way, right?
Yeah. Hopefully we don't get stuck over here, or hopefully we do. I don't know.
Hey, that might be a good thing.
If we do,
good place to get stuck on vacation.
Wouldn't mind a few more days, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just showing you guys that it's the coolest thing about SoCal is we were at the beach one day. You can drive 2 hours and be in the snow.
That's
like literally, like not just at the beach and it's like cold. Like no, in the beach at the beach and it's like hot, and you can just do the whole beach thing, drive, and then you're like in Big Bear. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. So the girls are having fun in the snow, messing around, and I'm the crazy guy because I don't know if I told you guys. I did tell you guys. I do like kind of like cold exposure, where I always just take cold showers, like zero hot. Just because I heard it's good for you.
Yeah.
And I just do it. It's just something I do. It's not like my favorite thing to do, but it wakes me up in the morning. Cold shower, coffee, and I'm ready to do all the stuff I need to do. Well, here's what I found out. The water over here is way colder. It's like way colder. But yeah, I didn't check the temperature on it, but it's really cold. I did go into the snow though.
Yeah, I saw that.
just in shorts. So I just had like a no shirt. Try to go in the snow, but it's not soft enough to like go into it. I'm just like laying on top of this thing.
I'm glad you didn't
Looking
try the
silly.
like face plant that my son did in the snow. That would have hurt.
That would have hurt because it was kind of like icy. It wasn't
Yeah.
good. But
This
yeah,
stuff was crazy powder. He just did a face plant. I've never seen anybody do it. He just jumped and he
it
just
looked funny.
laid there in the snow.
It just looked funny. He just went down like I don't know.
Yeah, he did it a couple times, man.
You know, I would recommend that actually. You know, of course, ask your doctor and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But
They
for
say it's super.
anxiety and like
Yeah.
stress,
They say it's really, really good. A lot of guys do what they call cold plunge. Where they have like a little ice bath outside.
Yeah, it's just something about it, like gets your endorphins up or something like that.
Mhm.
So I think it kind of, you know what it kind of does? It kind of simulates stress.
Mhm.
Because think about going into like a cold pool,
Yeah.
like for a
Yeah.
second, you're like,
Yeah, you're panicking, your body's freaking out, you're hyperventilating.
yeah. But I figure if you know, you get at least that you can control. If
Yeah.
you get a phone call that something crazy happened, that's not under your control. So
Yeah.
if you train yourself to like for that situation, then the phone call comes in and you're like, all right,
Yeah.
all right, that sucks. I'll handle it. Anyway, ask the Titanic passenger.
Yeah.
That's
A little
no
bit
good.
different story there, man.
Yeah.
I was just talking to somebody about that movie a couple days ago, man. About how at the end, you know, she leaves him hanging off that thing. Like there was plenty of room for both of them
That's
on
what
that.
I'm saying,
Yep,
bro.
right,
Squeeze in there.
Yeah.
She was not for him, man.
Yeah.
Hang on to the boat or something. I don't know.
I'd have yanked her butt in there at some point. I'd be like, all right, you haven't even offered it to me. We're not gonna
It's like,
we're not together. Like this ain't
it's
gonna
my
work.
turn. It's my
Yeah,
turn.
get
Jake.
off. Get in the
They should
water.
have did like rock, paper, scissors for it or something, man.
Right.
Who's
Imagine he
the
could have like
lady,
just flipped her. He could have just flipped her off of it and then climbed on top. And then like
And
paddle
who's the
away
lady
with
in
his feet
Misery?
hanging off.
You guys watched Misery?
Yeah, I've seen it. It's been a long
Remember
time,
that?
but I've seen it.
With Michael Caine, and then like she's like, I'm your biggest fan, and she like messes up his ankles. Forgot her name. What's her name?
Yeah, I know. I can't think
She
of her
was
name either.
Bates, Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates. Yeah.
Yeah, she was awesome in that movie in Titanic.
Yeah.
Remember, she was the new money lady.
Yep.
Speaking of movies, man, you guys got any good movies you're excited about? I know one I'm excited about. I think it's even this week. We got tickets.
No,
I saw Shazam
what
2 this weekend.
Did you? Did you like it?
I did. I took my daughter and her friend to it. Yeah, it was
Nice.
it was cute.
Did I say Michael?
I love the first one.
It wasn't Michael Caine. Sorry.
What? Michael Caine.
I think I was saying some random names. Anyway, it's old.
So what movie are you talking about?
John Wick.
Oh, the fourth one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Sad that I forget his name, but he passed away. The guy that was in the
he just
in the
passed
bank,
away.
or I
Right?
mean in the vault with the glasses.
Yeah.
Man.
Have y'all seen Creed 3 yet?
I haven't.
I want to. I still haven't seen that.
No.
I haven't seen the first or the second one.
Oh man. Well, I was gonna say
They're
you got to,
really
but
good. They're supposed to be
if
really,
you like,
really good.
if you like the Rocky series, they're
Yeah.
really good. They definitely
my
hold their
son
own.
really loves them.
Yeah. Then the Mario Bros movie comes out in a few weeks.
Yeah, that
I'm
looks
excited
good.
That about that. That looks good. Yeah. You can tell I've got a
James
kid because you're like John Wick 4, and I'm like, yeah, I took Shazam, and I'm seeing Mario Bros.
But it still is great though.
Yeah,
You know?
it does.
And then we got Fast coming out later on this year. The last two saga, or at least one of them.
Yeah.
For the saga.
Yeah.
James
Oh,
Conn.
the new Mission Impossible.
Yes.
What is it? The part one of the 2-part Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
That'll be really good.
I've always enjoyed that series.
Oh yeah. There's been a couple that's like, but for the most part, they're at least worth watching.
Yeah, absolutely.
The most recent one to me is it Rogue Nation? Is that the most recent one?
Oh goodness.
Oh, I'm gonna have to Google this.
Protocol. There's Rogue Nation. I don't know.
Oh, it may have been Fallout. Fallout. No, I'm Googling right now. Yes, it was Fallout.
Was it? Okay.
With Henry Cavill was in it. That one was fantastic. I loved that movie. Yeah.
Yeah, Dead Reckoning is the one that's coming out.
Yeah.
Part 1 and part 2.
I misspoke. I said Michael Caine, and it was James Conn. Yeah.
Michael Caine.
Michael.
Same guy.
I don't know.
James Conn was in it. Do you guys remember the television show Las Vegas? with Josh Duhamel or how you pronounce it. And I can't remember the other character. James Caan was in that as well. So
Yeah, I feel like they play the same character. You know what I recently watched a few days ago? That's an kind of old movie, but I thought it was really good. It was Coda. You guys watch Coda on Apple TV?
I've heard about it, but I don't.
I think it's children or child of deaf adults.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You saw it?
Yeah, I watched it. I had it on my playlist for a long time, and I watched it, and I'm like, oh, this is good. And then I told Chana to watch it, and I guess he watched it. So I thought it was cool.
Chana cried and called you. Yeah, I went to school with a kid whose both of his parents were deaf. That was just interesting. Like I just think like how tough that's got to be growing up when both of your parents are deaf. Like, and you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, Bodhi's telling me it's only 2 years old. Yeah, man. I don't get time. I have it on my list. I have a list that I just don't get to. Yeah.
Oh, hold up. So this guy, one of my patrons actually sent me the link to this video earlier today.
What?
And, dude, it's pretty dang cool. I need to see if I can find it again real fast. Yeah,
please link to that.
Yeah, I'll go grab it.
Okay.
I'll grab it.
An acoustic camera.
It's me, baby.
So does it show video or is it showing a picture of what it's seeing or hearing or analyzing?
I'll actually see if I can play some of it real fast.
Okay.
I don't know if it'll let me. Share screen.
It should.
I don't know if it'll do audio too. Okay.
I think it does.
Steve Mold. Okay, so what was that? I wonder how it works.
So the camera is picking up his voice, I'm assuming?
Yeah, so I guess you guys can't hear it, but the camera is like picking up where the noise is coming from. So I don't know. I didn't have a chance to watch the entire video yet, but I started it. And then I went ahead and banked it so I could finish watching it maybe tonight or tomorrow morning.
Does he rip one at any point? You have to, right?
Oh God, you know what?
You just have to
really,
just like.
I didn't think about that. I hope he does. Let's just scan real fast and see if there's anything.
Because I thought I saw one where like it was like lower area.
What the heck was that? A vacuum? That's the Dyson vacuum.
Oh, there you go.
No way. So this almost looks like
showing a
like
polar pattern?
real-time version of that polar plot that you have.
Yeah.
That's just like a heat map almost.
That's
all
interesting.
Right, dude.
I wonder how much the camera is.
Reflections too. Like what is this thing? What is the capture
application?
Device?
Oh,
well, no, not what's a capture device? And what is the application that I think I'd have some ideas of how to use it, but what?
Dude. That show holy crap.
What?
I'm trying to find the sponsors. One of the cameras even seems to have a Fibonacci spiral of mics. I don't know.
Does it have a link to the camera?
Yeah, I'm trying to. What? That's not what I wanted.
It's the tube more than the motor.
Acoustic cameras. Oh.
Okay, so I have no idea what the capture device is. The wave cam.
What? Yeah. It's
okay.
Me, baby.
So
that's enough of that.
What's a use case? What's a use case?
I don't know. High resolution vibration measurement. High resolution vibration measurement for experts and beginners in time and frequency. Blah 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 blah. Data specification.
I think it would be excellent if it could do low frequencies, if it's full range, to see where the nulls are in your room. Visually see. All right, don't put your seat right there because there's a null right there. I know we can do that with mics, but it would just be so awesome to see just a visual representation of that happening.
What? They have an array? A data? Oh, I've got to email this company. Look at this thing. Acoustic camera. Big old. That's ridiculous, dude. Near field. All right, I'm stop sharing this.
Yes. You need one of those. Add that to the mix.
Get one of those.
Might as well, swing for the fences.
I mean, You have a few things
at this
You
point.
said, yeah, you
What's one
said you
more
don't
thing?
want to show it, but it's okay. Can you explain like what kind of things you have going on without you don't have to show it.
No, I'll show it in the group. What I meant was like I won't post a public picture of it.
Okay.
Well,
All
I
right.
don't think I'll post a public picture of it, but I'll find the one I shared with you guys because the people here aren't going to clown me. Well, they will, but not too bad. But if I post it publicly, somebody's going to say, "Oh, you're using it wrong," because they don't know what it does. I've already encountered that countless times.
Sure.
They want you to put it in an anechoic chamber because
because they don't know that
like it's the replacement for having
exactly
to have an anechoic chamber.
Yeah, I'm supposed to have an anechoic chamber because I don't need one anymore. Yeah. So for everybody who don't know, that's the Klippel near field scanner that's sitting in my office, or not. I'm sorry, not my office, but my dining room. So
wow.
Yeah. There you go. So I've got to take the lights down up at the top to give it a little bit more. I mean, actually, so right now this is the highest it goes. So the lights aren't even in the way at all. But I'm still going to take the lights down just to give it like one less reflection point. And then I've got 4-inch Ed crate foam that I'm going to put all around just so it doesn't echo like crazy because it's hardwood floor. Like it doesn't really matter for the purpose of the measurement, but it's going to drive me nuts because I'm going to hear it if I'm back here trying to work and that thing's going.
So, oh yeah, sure.
So where do you eat?
Anyway,
hard to eat when it's running.
I don't know. I guess I just won't eat. No, I never even use that room. So
that's hilarious.
It's just a pass-through room.
Let's see here.
It's me, baby, with your wake-up call.
Oh, how's the other thing going? So that's the Klippel.
Yeah, that's the Klippel. So let's see here.
Klippel's ready to go.
Can't point it at. It's dark over there, but I've got the analog precision unit set up. I'm measuring the Macintosh DAC. It's like a $5,000 DAC, home theater processor actually. And then the 462 amplifier. I've already started measuring. And then let's see here. I was showing the guys before, so I've got like 40 something of these resistors.
Yeah. Audio precision, right?
Yeah, it's audio precision. Yeah. What did I say?
Analog.
Did I say something else? I always do that, man. Yeah. So anyway, I've got a bunch of resistors that I'm using, like 5 of these in series, not series, but parallel to make, an 8 ohm load. And this is the heatsink.
What is that heatsink for? So
the flat side, all the resistors are going to go, like I'm bolting the resistors down into this, right? So there's going to be 15 resistors on each heatsink. And so it'll be like 8 ohm, 4 ohm, or 2 ohm adjustable.
Okay.
And so I'm going to have 2, and each one is going to be 1 channel.
Nice.
And that'll be for testing the amplifiers.
So that's all going to be passively cooled, no fans or anything?
I'll have a fan just kind of blowing on the heat sink just to help. But I went ahead and bought, let's see here. I didn't tell you guys this, but I bought the little FLIR camera adapter for my iPhone.
Oh, okay.
Dude, sweet, man.
What are you going to do with that?
Check the temperature of the resistors just to make sure they don't get too hot.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So what types of things will you be measuring on the amplifiers? What are you looking for?
Like power and noise and distortion. The main stuff, that like everybody cares about. But
sure,
one of the main things, and Joe knows about this, is noise, right? Just like self noise of the amplifier, right? Like sometimes you'll plug in an amplifier, you'll plug your speakers up to the amplifier, and the amplifier itself is just noisy, right? And especially Michael, when you've got high sensitivity speakers, that's all you hear is
like a hiss or something. Yeah,
that's so annoying. So that'll be one thing that I really want to kind of measure. And then I was also, like I was telling you guys backstage, I've commissioned a fellow in the UK I paid him like $3,000 just for the parts alone, and I'm going to pay him for his time to build it. But he's building me 4 different speaker loads, and it's basically just a redundant pair, right? So one pair of speaker loads is going to be for testing like easy loads, like a 6 ohm nominal type speaker, and it'll emulate a 2-way. And then the other set is going to be for a hard speaker load, so it'll be like a 3 to 4 ohm nominal, dips down into 2 ohms for a hard speaker load. So that way I can test the amplifiers to see, like, okay, could this drive electrostats, or is it better off driving like your standard old, like $99, not very hard to drive bookshelf type speaker, or can it do more than that?
Yeah.
So it'll be cool, man.
It'd be interesting, like, to see something like a really inexpensive amp, like maybe the Emotiva Basic series, compared to like what does a pair sound? Is there some differences there?
Right. Yeah. I'm kind of expecting what I'll run into is basically just I'm going to be verifying the manufacturer's claims. But what I hope to do is to maybe have like a database of just self noise, right? Just isolate the inputs and just test the noise, because man, I don't want there's nothing more annoying than having a system turn on and you just hear and it's hard to find amplifiers that are really low in their own noise.
Because is that a linear thing that would happen though? Like, okay, if my speaker's about an 8 ohm and then I have another one that's 4 ohm, do I expect?
It's not even that. It's just the voltage that you're like the speaker, the amplifier is putting out on its own, right? Just like when you have the volume turned all the way down, or the gain on the amplifier turned all the way down, or the gain on the processor turned all the way down, what is its self noise? Like if you loop back, or not loop back, but
okay,
isolate the inputs, right? Just make like a closed path on the input, short the inputs is what I'm trying to say. And then you just measure the outputs and see what kind of, like, is there any noise coming out of it, right? And I can do that with the AP, so that'll be cool. It's something I wish I'd been able to do a long time ago.
It would be interesting for people to understand how it relates to like audible noise, like compared to what,
for sure.
Like compare that to, I don't know, a computer fan or something that you kind of know the sound of.
Right.
I don't know.
But yeah, no, I'm thinking what I was hoping was that depending on whatever metric that I'm using, like if I measure the self noise of the amplifier, if I measure it in, let's say, milliwatts, or probably like millivolts or something like that, whatever kind of voltage is coming out, then I can say, all right, well, with a speaker with a sensitivity of this at 2.83 volts, then I can just back out, okay, as soon as you plug this in, it's going to have 50 dB of noise just coming out of the speaker at 12 feet away or something like that, right? Like I think you could probably quantify it that way. At least to me on the surface, seems pretty straightforward to do. It's just a couple math equations and that's it. I mean, it's very simple stuff.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I'm excited. I was looking at power supplies to maybe start doing car audio amplifiers. Actually, that's why I care about noise, is because in car audio, you're sitting so close to the speakers. And it's the same thing, I guess, with near field monitoring speakers. You're so dang close. If there's any noise in anything in that system, it's coming out of those speakers. You're going to hear it. It's going to drive you nuts. So.
And what people don't realize, I think, sometimes is like with these studio monitors, they're almost always like at max, right?
Yeah.
And you're just adjusting the gain on your source, so you're not adjusting the volume on the actual monitors themselves. So sometimes it's at 50%, which is usually, it seems to be like about 80% of the power at least. It seems like the last half is not the same for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, no, and that's actually something else I plan to test too. I mean, playing around with this Macintosh processor, one of the first things I was doing was I was just checking the voltage coming out of it, like any kind of self noise floor coming out at its mute versus like its lowest volume setting at like maybe 100 dB or what, negative 100 dB, whatever that volume setting is. I don't know what it is. And then it can go up to like plus 18. So I was going from lowest to highest and seeing if it changes at all. And it doesn't change at all, which to me is good, because like a lot of car audio amplifiers, that when you turn the gain up, all you hear is shh, like it just keeps the noise floor just starts raising and raising. So yeah, that's one of the things I'd also like to play around with.
That'll be interesting, man. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Very interesting stuff. What are they saying here?
I saw a question here. So Chris, the Macintosh, the MX100, I posted like a report on my YouTube page and my Facebook group page for people to go ahead and look at and give me any kind of feedback. The MC462, I posted some preliminary results in 8 ohm on my Patreon page. And I also think that what I'm probably going to wind up doing is, just for the sake of keeping me sane when I do these reviews, I will create an entire report like that tells you exactly how the test was ran. It gives me like 40 something pages of results. Just ridiculous. I'm never going to post that online. Like, I'm not going to post all those graphics online. It's ridiculous. But I'm thinking what I'll do is, if you're a patron, then, for the $5 tier and up, it's yours. You can download it whenever you want. I'll put the whole report out there, because otherwise it's just a pain, man. I don't really want to have to get into that kind of level of detail in a written review. I do not. And I think if anybody really wants to know the details, they can have at it.
Sounds good. How about you, Michael? What are you up to?
So I've got a ton of catching up to do, man. I mean, just literally, I've been saying it a while, but there's just been so many projects getting this room, done. We've got other projects in the house, trying to finish those up. So everything, all the review stuff has just been on the back burner. So I got a lot.
Yeah, some catching up to do, huh?
Man, it's like the garage is getting full, the theater room is getting full. I got speakers everywhere, amplifiers, all kinds of stuff, man. Video processors. So
I hear you.
I just gotta grind. Now I'm back from vacation. No excuse, man. Just get on it.
You're refreshed, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, can I see that one resistor that you had, Aaron? You had like a little yellow resistor or something like that. Can I see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Looked about the size of the heatsink on the back of that clip sub. Remember? You were laughing at that little heatsink.
That's good. That's good. Yes, you are right.
About like that right there.
That's about that size. Yeah. Yeah. What's really interesting about these is so I bought 3 47 ohms and 2 33 ohms, right? So the total of 5 will give me an 8.03 ohm load, right? When all of those are wired up. And when I bench tested this Macintosh amp, so each of these are rated for 100 watts each. So all 5 of them in total gets me 500 watts. And that's about where the Macintosh amp tops out at. And when I was benching it and then using that FLIR camera adapter, what I expected was that each of the resistors would probably show up the same color, but the 33 ohm resistors were about like 10 degrees warmer. And I thought that was really interesting. So somebody who knows resistors better than I do probably would be like, oh yeah, that's whatever. But yeah, Croson, I paid $500 for the resistors. Yeah. So I'm spending some money. I'm looking at my bank account like I got to stop.
Those some of those can get really scary hot too. I don't know if people realize.
Like, yeah, no, they're about 100 degrees Fahrenheit to the touch. Like that's why I'm using that camera, is because I want to see what the difference is when I bolt them down to the heat sink and apply the paste and all that stuff, and then I can check on them, because once one of you fry one of those things, it's got to be replaced. So if something were to ever go bad in the load, I can use the camera to help me quickly identify. That's it.
Yeah. You know, the only reason I know those get really hot, like I wouldn't have known except for I think I had to use one for like for headlights or something. I think I had to use like some kind of resistor to make something work. I forgot what it was, but they sell these resistors, and I guess you're supposed to like mount them onto the body of the car, but they get like scary hot. Like that,
they do.
It seems like it could catch fire or something. So I don't know if I want to do this. But yeah, they get mad hot. Let's see. Speaking of car stuff, I was working on some car stuff earlier. Let's see. I think I have some photos to share too. Okay, so you guys know I've been working on my Magic Beans app for a while, and it's man, I'm so excited because like it's getting closer and closer. There's all these iterations where we're just adding features, making it easier to use, and then the final step is to make it look good. Right. But of course, it needs to work. Like we're just working on making sure that it works, but also that it delivers good results, right? And you guys know that I've always said, the target curves, people ask like, they say like, is Harman target curve good? This is a conversation we had many times. And I actually have some photos here to show you guys why an arbitrary individual target curve doesn't make sense. And it's because every situation is different. So let me see if I can share this here. So present, share, and this one. So check this out. Does this look like a target curve that you guys have seen before? It doesn't, right? So this is the target curve in my van. So I don't know. This might make sense to you, Aaron, but up here,
looks like loudness is enabled.
Huh? No, you know what it is? I have the front drivers are mounted so they face up and hit the windshield.
Yeah.
They're like that situation though. So none of it hits you direct.
Right.
I don't have anything on a pillar, nothing like that. It's just this. But this is the actual response. This is the optimal target curve, which nobody would ever pick. Right? Nobody would say, hey, you know what? I have an idea. Let's use this one. And I was very skeptical. And that's why I wanted to test the situation, because I knew it was like a weird, odd situation. I tried it out. I'm like, dang, in 5 minutes. So I just used the app for 5 minutes. It gave me a EQ target that was better than what I had been working on for sometimes I'll work on the car for 6-8 hours. You guys, Aaron, you've been in the car just messing around.
Oh, for hours and hours. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's just one day, and then you do it the next day and the next day. So I probably spent a good 30, 40 hours on this, tuning it. And I spent 5 minutes and I'm like, oh man, that sounds better than what I had already done before. It's on top of what I did before. But the fact that it improved the sound, I'm like, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. It's all about being on top.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just we can export to graphic EQ. So I just use the graphic. I could also do parametric, but I'm like, I just wanted to do it quick. I'm on vacation. I just wanted to see if this thing worked. Yeah. And so I did it there. Boom. I'm like, listen, looks ridiculous. And I'm like, dang, it actually sounds better. That's silly. So my point being, that's a target curve, right? So here's a target curve for this van, right? And then I did the Mercedes SUV, and this is the target curve for that one. So that's more, what we kind of expect. So that does look a little bit more similar to the Harman target, right? But both of them, my whole point being, there is no one particular target for everything, right?
Yeah, for every manufacturer, right?
Every situation, every speaker, it's going to be different all the time. And you need to figure out what that target curve is. And that's the whole point of the Magic Bean stuff. So yeah, this is the Mercedes. Let's see if I have any more pictures here. What happened? So here's how that Mercedes measures. Check out the bass.
Oh, well, holy crap! I was like, oh, the scale's not, but that's 20 dB, man.
That's
and it peaks at what is that like?
That's the main listening position. That's not near the thing. That's at the main listening. And this is
everything. That's like 120 hertz at the peak.
Okay, and here's what's crazy. This is accurate, and this is with bass, mid range, and treble all at default. It's 0. There's nothing. This is just the way they've tuned it. So I was impressed with the top end. I'm like, oh, okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty reasonable for a car. I'm like, what is going on here? And I think it's just because they don't want to show that it doesn't. Hold on, let me see. If this should be the target, right?
Yeah.
But I think they don't want to show that it doesn't play very deep.
Yeah.
So they're like, just put a big bump there. People will think it has a lot of bass.
Yeah, make it sound like it has a lot of bass.
That's like my rel.
But only when you stack 3 of them on top of each other.
Yeah. So I had to turn the bass down like to the lowest possible setting, and it sounded better. It already sounded better. I needed to actually do some more to kind of extend it out, but all it has is bass, mid-range, and treble. So anyway, hopefully that gives some insight into target curves. I was kind of surprised that their target curve was so kind of like flat at the mid-range and top end. I can't press back anymore. Like here, that looks pretty good for a target curve, for a car. So anyway, that's what's going on. Shauna, what's up, man?
Speaking of cars, I just got home from a 7-hour drive. So
that's
where I was. Yeah.
You gotta measure your car and see what
I find it hilarious that in the chat, Mike and Joe are like sending pictures of them in the snow. I think that's what we've been living since like November. So that was a nice little change.
I always say I love to visit it, but I have zero desire to live in it, man.
No, totally.
That's crazy what y'all have to go through.
So Mike put up this video or sent a video of his son like shoveling the front of like getting to their condo. That's really weird, dude, because like our condo, we pay for like our property manager comes and snow blows the walkways to the front door. So it's kind of odd that like on a rental, I'd be like, hey.
It was weird. I thought we were at the wrong place. We pull up and I'm like, is this the right one? It says C2.
Oh, you got a youth man deal? That means you have to do your own snow removal.
That's right. That's funny, man.
But that's what I was telling him earlier. He was filming. It wasn't Michael doing it was somebody else. But he was hyped up.
It was my daughter's boyfriend that was doing it.
Oh, okay. My bad. I thought that was couldn't tell.
Yeah, my son was the one that face planted into the snow.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
And buried himself completely in the snow.
I saw that. That was kind of funny. That was kind of funny.
They had me come out. They texted me. They said, "Dad, come outside." They're like, I said, "What's up?" They said, because they've been playing out there literally for hours. They're digging holes. They're doing snowball fights and building barricades and bunkers in the snow and everything. And then they're like, "Come out here." I said, "What am I looking for?" They're like, "Find Jacob." I'm looking around. I'm like, I said, "I think he's right there." And it wasn't. He was way out there deep. It was funny. He was totally buried. Yeah.
Hey,
I was out there with him.
Ike says he wants to be a lab rat for the Magic Beans app.
There you go.
Chana, you were a lab rat.
Yeah, I did that.
Well, how many days ago was that? 2 days ago?
That was Friday night.
Friday night, and then I couldn't do. He's like, yeah, it was like 10 p.m. I'm like, dude, man, I'm not about to blast stuff over here. I gotta like go to sleep. So Friday I did another 7-hour drive. I dropped the wife and kid off in Mojave, and then it was like a handoff, and then her mom picked her up from Mojave. They went on a cruise, so they've been cruising it up. Carnival cruise, like the Ensenada 3-day thing out of Long Beach. So then I actually had time to make videos, so I was just banging them out. I did like a tutorial for the toolkit on the level matching, and then I also shot one for the speaker crossover points things. And then like Friday night, Joe's like, hey, just try this out. Go find your mini DSP. I'm like, I just cleaned up around here, and cleaning up really means I just kind of stash it like
kind of
around,
move it off
like
to
out
the
of
side.
out of the way, underneath a curtain. I don't know. So I'm like, damn, where's that stupid mic? I remember in the after show, I was flinging it around like a lasso, or Anyway, found it, and then we did 2.1. We did with his magical beans.
Hold on, tell the story right though, because I talked to you earlier that night, and I was like, hey, you down to do it? It's just gonna take like 20 minutes, like something real quick, right?
Yeah.
I just need to go to the store real quick, right?
Yeah.
So you get back from the store, and I'm like, all right, bro, I'm ready. Like I was setting up the whole time, and he's like, like, what are you talking? You said you're gonna go to the store. When you come back, you're gonna be ready, and then when you come back, you're like,
I was like, I
don't know, man. I don't know.
Because I'd done a 7-hour drive.
I know.
I had done another 7-hour drive Monday.
I just thought it was funny that you changed your mind after coming back from the store.
Yeah, because dude, going to the market is just an ordeal. Like if you can imagine your regular supermarket's parking lot. Now imagine 75% of it covered in like 5 feet of snow. So there's nowhere to park. So you got to park and then walk all the way it's just a nightmare. Yeah, Jason, I sent that out the next day. As soon as I saw Jason, your name, do you guys want to see this weird name that came through? An address? We gotta show this. This is hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what happened, dude. When I go to the market, sometimes I come back and I'm just like, okay, we're done. We're done. Like, oh man.
So how did it end up sounding? Because it was quick, right? I didn't.
It was 2.1. So we did the subwoofer and the front, left and right, and I was just like, oh man. I'm like, dude, this sounds so good. I gotta listen to it tomorrow, because I wasn't able to like turn it up. It was like 10:30 or something. And there's all these renters and stuff asleep, and the dogs were already asleep. So I was just like, we'll just do it tomorrow. And then that's when I posted the what is it? The Instagram story. I went through a bunch of music, and wow, man, pretty impressive for like an auto app, because I remember when Joe did it manually, like it took quite a while. Of course, that was only 2 speakers out of 2 speakers in a sub, as opposed to 9 speakers in a sub.
How about the fact that it took it? So the first one, the manual one we did, was like 6 hours. This seriously took like 20 minutes, and we didn't do anything Odyssey related. You didn't even turn on Odyssey.
No, didn't have to turn on Odyssey. Like, I'm taking the measurement, I'm looking at the computer, and then the whole screen goes green. That means it's got the measurement. And then like I run over to the main listening position, take that measurement, and then bing, it's like, oh, you're done. Oh, okay. Oh,
Did you like that you just did it with a graphic EQ?
Oh yeah. So like I don't have multi EQ X, right? So that's another $200. So you can export it for a graphic EQ, and then you just go into the equalizer and plug in those settings.
And Jose.
Yes, and Jose as well. He comes along with the calibration.
I have my bed all to myself.
Now Angela's going to come running in like that CNN anchor. She's going to come tearing in the room and yank her out of there.
You want to say hi to my mom? You want to say hi to everybody? Say hi, Mom.
Hello.
Hey, Mom.
How are you?
Hi.
Huh?
Hello.
I'm doing a podcast right now. We got like 100 people saying hi to you.
Saying hi.
114.
I'll talk to you in a bit.
Okay.
All right, love you. Bye.
Hi, Mom.
There you go.
Bye-bye.
There you go. All right.
Tell her I'm coming over for supper later.
Supper. I told you only my great grandma used to say supper.
Dinner, man.
I thought that was like an old school term.
Supper, y'all.
Supper and
time.
the guy's heavy set. Those are the two things she used to say.
Heavy set.
Heavy set.
Heavy set.
I had to take a picture of this. Yeah. So look, this is what happens when people hate you.
Look at this.
When people hate you, but they still want your product. This is the name.
Oh,
Hell
funny.
no at 000 North Pole, California 90210. Clearly, but is your name Brandon Walsh? Is that-
I guarantee it's somebody who's hating on our stuff.
Oh yeah.
And he just needs to see.
Either that or
No, I
somebody
bet
it's all
so
about.
paranoid that
Appreciate
they
Yeah.
that they don't want spam in their email. I don't understand. Like I've got like 20 email addresses. Like if I want to sign up for some random thing that like I bought some of those random shirts that like like a Daft Punk shirt that pops up on my Facebook feed. Yeah, I give my junk email address to that. It's it's what you guys are gonna fight about the supper.
Hate so much they had to have, yeah.
Yeah, somebody signed Michael up for some email stuff. Was it about a year ago?
Man. Yeah, dude.
Oh,
I
yeah,
know.
that was-
I guarantee I know who it was.
Yeah,
I banned him. I banned
yeah.
that guy from my channel. He makes weird cat videos, and oh my goodness, I think we've all banned him.
Yeah. I had to block some sites too.
He signed me up for all kinds of
He blocked out some sites. So if
weird. So here's the crazy thing: he had to visit those weird sites.
Right, he
sign
had to
me
go.
up for them. Yeah, so he must have knew what they were. So that just says a little bit about him.
Mm-hmm.
So if you come over to the pad, if you come over to visit one of these days and you're like, how come I can't get to the site? It's just because I had to block it for that guy. So
That makes sense.
Do you say meow?
Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention when I was doing the Magic Beans thing, I wanted to show you guys this thing. This is a IMM6.
Oh yeah, I've got
Little
one of those.
Dayton audio, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Of course, you have to use a dongle life.
Dongle, right?
But this is a pretty cool little mic. This is a calibrated mic. You can download
Nice.
a calibration file for it.
Cool.
And
Is
it
it
does
two
its
mics
thing.
on the
And
end?
if you don't want to, what's that?
Is it 2 mics on the end?
No, it's actually a microphone, little tiny microphone capsule, and then it has a 3.5
headphone?
headphone.
Oh,
So if
okay.
you want to still be able to use that. But
Nice.
it works even without the calibration file. I found that it was reasonably flat. At least this one is. And it's like 26, 27 bucks. So if you want to do something like that, this will work with the Magic Beans app when it's ready. Can you go over there, please? Thanks. All right. Sorry about that. What else?
Slim's late because he was eating supper.
He's eating supper, of
That's
course.
what you're supposed to do.
I think I'm gonna use that tonight. Like
An evening
What time
meal,
is supper?
typically a light or informal one. Supper versus
light-
dinner. Dinner and supper are both used to refer to the main meal of the day, and especially to that meal as eaten in the evening. Supper is used especially when the meal is an informal one eaten at home, you losers, while dinner tends to be the term chosen when the meal is more formal. So, like I said, supper, because y'all just sit around with your freaking tuxedos on, apparently at the house, eating dinner.
Hey, I do.
Freaking weirdos.
Eating caviar and champagne.
Yeah.
drinking
I
champagne.
mean,
Pardon me.
it's
Do you
not
have any
called
Grey
the
Poupon?
last dinner, right? It's called Last Supper. So
Yeah.
I get,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's godlike.
Put away Chat GPT already, bro.
Yeah.
You guys
Chat
play with that?
A little bit.
I've
Oh
seen
my goodness.
There's an interesting thread on ASR where I seen somebody had linked me to it, and they asked me what I thought. It was somebody said, "Will Chat GPT replace audio reviewers?" And I was like, "Well, that's an interesting concept." So I like read through it, and I think somebody had like, try to generate some kind of audio review, and I was like, "That's pretty neat."
Somebody did recently.
What I find is a lot of times it's wrong. Like it's just factually incorrect because it says it right there.
It's a lot of words. It sounds like it's trying to be convincing, but at the same time, it's just wrong.
It'll say, so I asked it some very, very technical questions, right? That only like a handful of people actually know. And so it says, hey, I'm not, I'm not for like researching stuff. I'm a text generator. I generate text, right? And of course it can look up some stuff that's available. But a lot of times you'll ask it a question. I'll ask it a question. And I think my question was like, does Dolby Atmos use VBAP, vector base array panning, right?
Oh yeah.
Not a lot of people know the answer to that, right?
Yeah.
And it said, yes, it does. And I said, are you sure? And it said, sorry for the confusion. Upon second thought or whatever, I looked it up again and it does not. And I'm like, make up your mind. Like, which one is it? Does it? Does it not? And then it said, no, it actually does not. So like I had to ask it a couple times and it actually got the right answer. But the first answer was just straight up incorrect. So
yeah,
you got to be careful if you're using that. It's not for, giving you the correct answer.
I think
it's giving you a bunch of text.
Yeah. What's helped me is like I'll write out, because when I do certain things, I can just free talk. Certain things I'll script out. And so sometimes I'll script it out and I'll feed it into there and I'll say, hey, can you improve this? And I'll see what it has. And sometimes it'll add some thoughts that I didn't think of, or it'll phrase something a little bit better, kind of sounds more fluid or whatever. But pretty much that's what I've used it for. But I don't see, I can see that there are going to be people, like I saw a comment from Homeboy. He said he's doing it, or he's seeing that in his school because he's a teacher.
Oh, it actually, I threw some math questions at it, like specifically like word problems, and it did that surprisingly well. So that was kind of trippy, and I think I heard that initially it started off as some kind of like a language-based AI, and then they started teaching it how to code. They started throwing code at it, and then it started understanding like logic.
Yeah, I've heard people building websites with them.
And see that kind of stuff totally easy for it to do because it's just code, right? And it'll just look up how to do the code and this, that, and the other. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. There was this funny TikTok. There's this professor. He's like, all of you used ChatGPT on the last paper. If you use ChatGPT on the next paper, you will fail. I will fail you, and you will have to get your units somewhere else. So that's kind of funny.
Wow.
Yeah. College kids already trying to get on there.
The other interesting thing is if you ever mess around with it, try to get it to give you an answer, but in the style of somebody.
Yeah.
Right. So I asked right now, like, explain the difference between supper and dinner in the style of Macho Man Randy Savage. You know what I mean? And it said, "Oh yeah, let me tell you something, brother. The difference between supper and dinner is as clear as day and night." Hold on, let me just see.
That's
that's pretty good.
So you see, brother, supper is all about family and chilling, while dinner is about business and being a boss. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I mean, there's this video. What's his name? David Guetta went to ChatGPT and said, write a verse about future rave music in the style of Eminem. And so he did it. And then he went to another AI thing and had, Eminem's voice say that. And he took the vocal and made it into a song. And everybody thought it was like Eminem. Like, it's pretty crazy.
I heard about that. Yeah, that was on like CNN or something. Like, and the guy was saying, he wasn't releasing anything because he didn't understand the ethics of it right now. Like he still had questions about the ethics of doing that because, he was mimicking, and he was like, I don't know how this is going to go over. You know, like,
Yeah.
are you going to be able to get sued for something like that?
Dude, like,
very interesting.
I could make like a song in Atmos and be like, maybe I want Rihanna to sing this. She hasn't put out any music lately. And then boom, 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 I got Rihanna on my song. Like, how, like, what does that mean? Means some cool stuff can happen. But you can probably go to jail too. I don't know.
Probably.
I'm trying one.
I guess as long as you don't sell it. So that is a different way to hack the music industry. Just put this big name artist on your song. It blows up from TikTok, wherever, and then all of a sudden they're like forced to like release the song. You know. Oh, that's so messed up. What happened? Where?
No.
You know what? We should really challenge ChatGPT.
I'm doing it right now. Check this out.
Find a way to make Aaron's hair grow back on.
I got a way. I'll pluck it off of your butt.
Look at you guys can see this.
No, actually, I'm gonna make mine bigger.
All right,
you see this?
Let's go.
You're gonna make his bigger.
All right, there we go.
Oh gosh.
All right. Different scanner works. Okay.
All right. So I said, explain how a near field scanner works in a way a 5-year-old can understand and relate it to wrestling in the style of Hulk Hogan. All right, buddy. Let's talk about who wants to do the voice. Can anybody do a Hulk Hogan voice?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so.
Anyway, he says, so you know how when Hulk Hogan enters the ring, he has to size up his opponent and figure out their strengths and weaknesses. Well, a Klippel near-field scanner is kind of like that. It helps engineers size up and understand the strengths and weaknesses of speakers so they can make them sound even better. The scanner looks at the speaker really closely and measures how it moves when it makes sound. It can tell if there are any problems with the speaker, like if it's wobbling too much or making weird noises. That way, the engineer can figure out what to do to make the speaker sound better and perform like a champion in the ring. Nice. So just like Hulk Hogan has to figure out how to beat his opponent in the ring, engineers use a Klippel near-field scanner to figure out how to make speakers sound their best. It's like wrestling for speakers.
I like it.
Dude, I mean, that's
pretty good.
What's amazing to me is how quickly it processes that.
I know it.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Because usually by the time you hit enter, it just starts typing. And you can tell it to be real specific. You're like, write 5 paragraphs or use this and then whatever. One time I copied my whole script, pasted in there. I said, see if you can make this better. And it stopped like mid-sentence. And I'm like, I said, you didn't finish. And it said, oh, I'm sorry. And it started back. It's weird. They basically say you can have a conversation with this thing and have dialogue. And it's definitely wild, man.
It can be very wrong though. That's the funny thing. The funny thing is like how
100%.
I'm catching up on some of these. Dolby doesn't use VBAT, brother.
Dude, I said explain Interstellar in terms of Batman, and it gave me I'm not going to read it, but it gave me a reply, and I'm sitting here like, okay, that's crazy.
I just
should have said explain Interstellar to me.
So here's the funny thing though. I asked it, can you tell me what's the real name? What's Technodad's real name? Right? And I'll tell you honestly, exactly what it said. It said, Technodad's real name is Joe and Tell. I'm like, what? I said, no, it's not. He said, oh, it's Lon. Like Lon Seidman? Like,
he showed me this the other day. Over the weekend. I was like, what is this?
Anyway, crazy. We had to touch on ChatGPT.
Yeah.
It says he chooses to remain anonymous using a voice modulator to conceal their identity. That's what this actually says about Technodad.
There's another Technodad, right? Chana? Isn't there another like Technodad?
Oh, there's this guy, Technoblade. And then his dad, everyone refers to as Technodad. And so like, I guess this Technoblade guy passed away. And so in Twitter, I'm always getting tagged because they think I'm his dad.
Right.
And it's I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah. That's
sad too.
Very kind of, because you don't want to be a jerk. Like, quit tagging me.
I'm like, I don't want to be like, hey. Do you guys run your subs hot after calibration? 100%. Man, I make my shit hot during calibration.
Yeah.
Woo.
Woo! That's the sound of
I
making
actually
something
just
hot.
made a video about this exact thing, Brian. It's on my YouTube channel. Today's video.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you guys? I mean, I used to do that with Odyssey. I'd have to go like.
No, here's
Put
the
it up
reason why
again.
you shouldn't use Chat GPT for your research papers, though. I said, what is Daily Hi-Fi Podcast about? And then the second paragraph, Daily Podcast is hosted by Michael O'Neill.
Who's a passionate audiophile and music lover.
Who's Michael O'Neill?
I don't know.
Okay.
You need to ask Chat GP.
Yeah, who's
Okay,
yeah,
so-
you got to go down the rabbit hole. Who's Michael
Yeah.
O'Neill?
Like,
Sorry,
who are you
sorry.
talking about, bro?
So do you run your subs hot was the question?
After calibration.
After.
Oh,
If you do the proper target curve, you don't need to run them hot.
Yeah.
There's no need to go extra. You probably will need to run them hot if you use Odyssey because it makes them too low. So you running them hot is actually not just hot. It's not running them hot. It's actually just doing it normal. If that makes any sense. What other questions here?
there's some in the thing.
Earlier from Jason. Jason, I don't know if you're still around. This was earlier on. He says, loving the podcast. I'm curious if any of you use a MacBook for REW measurements. Yes, I do. I can test tone all 5 speakers, but no subwoofer? Yeah, you can. If you plug in an HDMI cable, you should be able to access 7.1. So all those, including the subwoofer.
RZ610. Does the receiver matter? The receiver shouldn't matter. You just have to select it, right? 7.1 output.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think what you have to do. Yeah, you have to just in the drop down there, you select HDMI, and it should show your AVR there. But yeah,
Randall said not all MacBooks have HDMI.
Yeah, you'll have to use some sort of dongle. I use a dongle. I hate it.
Yeah.
You hate your dongle?
Dongle.
Dude, I'd hate it too if it looked like you, but whatever. Probably looks like your face. Slim with a tilted grin. Anybody get the reference? Probably not.
What's my
just
name?
keep going.
Yeah.
Thank. Oh my God,
come
dude!
on, bro.
You're my
That's
okay. All right.
That's
all
too
right.
easy. I was like,
Listen, there was something last week. I can't remember. You two, Michael and Joe, y'all were talking about something, and I cannot remember what it was. But y'all said something, and immediately, like my head kicked into like a song or something. And right at the same time, I hear Chana come in with it, and I was like, "There he is! There he is!" I almost stopped the car to pull over so I could reply right at that moment. Be like, "Dude, I love you."
Awesome,
it was so
man.
good.
Awesome.
I can't remember what it was. I need to go back and find it. I can always count on Chana.
So Chris asks, is March audio deals month? Have you guys seen any audio deals?
No, I know like TV
Monoprice has a
deals.
bunch of them.
Yeah, Monoprice has a subwoofer on sale, the 215.
215.
Yeah, so Monoprice has all these like things on sale. Monolith. Was it Monolith and Monoprice or just Monolith? Did you guys see?
I just only saw the subwoofers. So.
Yeah, so I bought 2 more of those 5.1 systems, like the ones that Chana and I use for the studio. I saw it on sale on Monolith's website for $430, something like that. I'm like, oh, that's a crazy deal. It's normally $800, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw it on Amazon for $370. So I'm like, wow, what the heck?
Oh wow!
A few days later, I'm like, I just bought another set. So I never buy speakers. I don't have to buy speakers. I have so many, but I like these so much, I ended up buying them. But I just thought it was weird that they were on sale, and it's like, it's not like any type of Black Friday. There's nothing going on. Like, where are these sales coming from? That's what I thought was kind of odd.
Yeah, Chris says Elex got the reference DBR 62s on sale.
Okay. So I don't know if it's a thing that's happening right now where everything's on sale. Have you guys seen any other things aside from?
I mean, TVs. Because what do you call it? March, April are when this year's models are coming out. So last year's models are starting to like price drop. So,
okay. Well, I'm not complaining. I like the sales because
I mean, I bought another 2 pair of those speakers to run the front wides
a while back though, right?
No, I bought the top ones, but I still haven't. But so I bought another pair to do front wides.
Yeah.
But I got my front wides hooked up. And
were you wrong on your video? Do you have to make a new video? I was wrong.
no,
Front wides are awesome.
I was 100% correct. And it's even worse now if somebody mixes in 916 and then you are listening on a 512 or something like that, or like 5 earlobe speakers.
No.
You know, Atmos is not matrixing as well as they, you know, want it to matrix. Unless you're running a Trinoff. Excuse me. It's kind of weird. It's kind of, I mean, the front, like, so I unplugged the side surrounds and the fronts. So I had the center channel and the front wides and the surround back, and then the heights were still plugged in. So I just, you know, undid one cable on each of the other speakers just to make sure, you know, what I programmed to be in the front wides are in the front wides. And in the new song, the K5 song that I'm doing, that I'm remixing, and like it's there, but like soon as like we go to like 512, man, it kind of can't figure it out that well. So I think I'm gonna have to make a few other files and test them out, but I think I'm right. I think.
So does it upmix content into those wides? Like, let's say if I'm playing 5.1, does it automatically say, "Hey, let's throw some stuff"?
No, because it's not part of a bed track. So I have to place
for upmixing though. Like,
upmixing. Some people say upmixing works. I didn't try any upmixers, man. It's all native content here, bro. I'm not upmixing into my front wides. Although that's what everybody, like when I made that video, people that have front wides and somebody convinced them to spend the extra money to install it in their home theater, they're like, no, they're great. I upmix it. No. We're not talking about upmixing. We're talking about native content. Is it worth it for native content? And,
but what if it is actually good for upmixing though? Because that was our argument for oral, right?
Yeah,
everyone's like, "There's no native content." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't use it for that. I just
I don't think the Oro, or I don't think Oro will use the front wides.
I don't think so either. But I'm just saying that if people use that to upmix content and it makes their 5.1 stuff sound better, that's a use case.
Yeah, you know, totally. But as far as like, you know, when we're speaking just Dolby Atmos, I don't. There's not a whole lot.
I hear you.
Yeah.
So Jordan asked this earlier. He says, "Here's a video idea for Joe and Michael: budget versus premium coaxial surround and height speakers. Monolith THX versus the JTR 110." Well, that's a little bit of a size difference there.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
What is the size on the JTR 110?
It's like a 10-inch, right?
Yeah, it's
10-inch coaxial.
Yeah, correct.
We don't even need to make the video.
You can say it right now. You can make the video right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So I mean, coaxial, it has the benefits that we all know, that it's a point source and the tweeters in the middle, and you know, I mean, that aspect is gonna be the same. But the fact that one's a 4.5-inch driver and the JTR is a 10 or whatever it is, it's gonna be a huge difference in output capability and sensitivity. Right. And yeah, I mean, the monolith will probably hit lower. Kind of joking, but ATR usually they make their stuff like really roll off pretty hard, right? Because they want it to play loud. Like, what is it rated for? 80 hertz or?
Let me look. I'll find out.
Because the monolith is rated to 80 hertz, right?
110 slants are rated down to 80 hertz to 20,000. Yep.
Yeah, so it'll probably just do that way louder.
95 dB sensitive.
What's that?
95 dB sensitivity.
95. I think the other one's like 83 or 82 or something like that.
Yeah, and 124 dB, and it says calculated peak 127 dB minus 3 dB compression.
Yeah.
Not sure what that means.
And I'm sure Aaron probably can tell you the difference of a 4.5-inch and a 10-inch. Well, you know, what's going to happen driver-wise, Aaron.
Plus, it'll handle 750 watts continuous, which would be
that's a little
insane.
different.
That's a lot. That's a huge,
that's crazy.
Huge difference.
Yeah.
Put Aaron's Macintosh on that joker.
Yeah, for real.
Because yours is what, 450?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
450 or 650. Maybe it was 650 and 4 ohms.
It's 450. Well, it's supposed to be regulated, so it's supposed to be like 450 at 2, 4, and 8. But then
Okay.
I read Stereophile's review because I was comparing my results to theirs just to make sure that like mine at least makes sense.
Yeah,
and I seem to recall them showing higher ratings, but like Macintosh also rates their power at very low distortion. So it's hard for me to say basically because the numbers that Stereophile gave, I think, are like at a distortion level of 1%, whereas Macintosh rates them at 0.01. Long story short, I can verify that what Macintosh says with at least 8 ohms, it will do 452 or something like that. Like it does right at what they say it does.
Awesome.
And that's at 0.01%. At 1%, it was like 520 something watts per channel at 8 ohm. That's ridiculous, dude.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
So what would cause that distortion to change? Is it volume? Is it the speakers that you've got connected to it?
Well, it's just like, so honestly, I'm not an amplifier engineer, so I'm not going to say anything that I don't know. I just can tell you that at some point it just gets to a threshold where I guess it just can't provide the power that you're asking of it. And then it's all distortion.
And then it starts to add distortion. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
So I've been trying to read about this stuff and like I understand the basics of amplifiers and stuff like that, but I'm not an electronics engineer. And dude, it's like it's a rabbit hole, man.
From ChatGPT, no, I wouldn't.
Well, that's exactly where I'm getting them from, right? But it's all right. I figure.
Yeah. There's this guy Bruce is asking multitude of questions here. Let's see what's up with Bruce. Hey guys, thanks for being so helpful. Should we consider same model while considering dual sub setup, or can mismatch driver and amp power, but the enclosure type must be the same in regards of its size? Continues. For dual setup in my room, I have the only place for the sub to go at midpoint of my 2200 cubic foot space. I can place for one large 15-inch sub, 20-inch by 20-inch sub cabinet size max to fit in my space. But another on the other side, probably maybe go for an SB 3000 size max.
Yeah, I think I answered Bruce on my channel, so I'll let you guys take this one.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. So should you use the same model when considering dual sub? Yeah, probably. Just makes it easier on you. They have the same output capability, and they're gonna have the same frequency response and all that. So, I mean, you can mismatch them, but you better know your stuff when it comes to DSP, right? And especially just don't go like one ported and one sealed. You can, but again, that makes it even harder. You don't want to make stuff harder for yourself. You want to make it easier.
Easy peasy.
So, yeah.
So I mean, should you just go with two SB 3000s then?
I mean, do a setup.
Side note: Chris Wyndham says he's headed to dinner, not supper.
Oh, he's fancy though. Look at him though.
So Chris is getting dressed up. Yeah, he's going out.
Right.
He's getting.
Hey, Chris is bougie. It's all good. I'm with you, Chris. I had dinner earlier.
No, I'm just gonna go to a diner.
He's going to a diner.
That's one in.
I know. It's just so confusing. English language. What the heck? But yeah, I think the other question was about the room size dual setup, and I have only place for the subs to go at the midpoint of my 2200 cubic foot room. I can place one large 15-inch sub, 20 inch. Okay. But on the other side, probably I can go for maybe okay. You can only place a mid room.
Midpoint of the room. So in essence, are those going to be kind of near field, sort of? Going to be closer to his listening position? Maybe he needs less bass, if that's the case. I don't know.
The tough thing about this is we have to really know where you're going to place them. How about Din Din? Yeah, that works too. We have to know where you're going to place the subs, and we also need to know how the room responds. You know what I'm saying? So without that information, we can't say whether it's going to be enough. We need more information. We need to know what your expectations for volume are. Where's your seat relative to the room? there's just a lot. You're asking a question that's kind of complex. Yeah, you can always email, probably better, with some photos, things like that. Yeah, it's just hard to just say straight up, okay, yeah, it's you should get these subs.
I'll say it. No, denied.
Yeah.
Step into my office. You're fired. No 6-minute abs.
What? Why?
Come on, something about Mary. Come on.
Ask Chat GPT if you can get awesome abs in 6 minutes a day.
No,
can't. Tell you.
Hey, I got kicked out of a home theater Discord group.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
I can.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because I was in there in this just one group called Theory, right? And we're just there talking about all kinds of theory stuff. I probably have like 1,000 posts in there. I spent a ton of time in there just talking to, some cool dudes about random, ideas about ways, to use, research and psychoacoustics and all. And we're just doing experiments, just messing around there. But of course, this is what I do, right? I have an app. Were you too logical?
Were you too logical? No, he used science.
I'm making an app. I'm using. We made the audio toolkit, right? So a lot of the stuff that I learned from doing these things, I would like to share, right? I don't link. I've never linked to the toolkit. You know what I mean? Like to me, that's like not good form to like link to your stuff, right?
Yeah.
But recently, they were like, hey, now that we should actually talk about this too. They're like, oh, Denon has Dirac now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said you should make a video comparing those. And I said, I've already made that video. I did that before. It just is behind a paywall now. But because he was asking, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put it back on YouTube. I'm going to take it off the paywall, or not take it off, but just put it so it's available. Here you go. And they're like, oh, I got a private message saying, hey, man, see you self-promoting a little bit more lately. I'm like, yeah, because I'm working on stuff and people know what I'm working on and they ask me about it. That's why. You know what I mean? I'm saying it's very lighthearted too. I'm not upset at all. Because truthfully, like Chana and I started the spatial Discord. I think we probably have more people in there in like a couple weeks. So I'm not worried. I'm not trying to promote my stuff on Discord. You know what I mean? We have our own channel. I'm there to talk Discord. To people and hang out and have a good time. And I'm not.
That's Joe's Friday night. Yeah. Hey, kind of try this app. I got this new app here.
Let me just say this. It's not
give you a little taste to channel.
It's not a good place to promote. Okay, if
514 is going to cost you.
You don't want to do that. You don't want to go on Discord to try to promote on a Discord with like 200 people. It doesn't make any sense.
That's literally what he did to me Friday night. It's like, here's, let's do 2 channel, 2.1 channel.
Yeah.
What about my other 7 speakers, bro?
Anyway, I just thought it was. I just wanted to explain to people that when this is what you do, right? You do audio stuff from morning to night. It's kind of hard not to say what you're working on.
Yeah.
It's not self-promotion. It's just, this is what you do. And so it's kind of related, if you just made a video about a topic that somebody asked about, are you not supposed to say, I just made a video about that?
Yeah.
You can go look for it. I don't link to it. I say you can go look for it. I try to keep it cool. But anyway.
Randall says you pissed off the cable nerds.
I just thought it was kind of funny. So, yeah, whatever. No, I'm not mad at you guys. That's cool.
Yeah. Just selling out on the corner now.
Selling out on the corner.
He's turning audio tricks, baby.
He rejected it.
Oh, here, reverence. It's just funny, the accusations. Like, people assume, right? I had someone ask me if I was involved in SAC and trying to shill for it. I'm like, other than giving Chana more work to do, nah. You see what I mean? It's so weird because, like, Reverend Slim is just very involved. I hope he enjoys helping people.
Yeah,
because he's very helpful,
dude. He's all up in there.
But if you're too helpful, it's like, oh, are you shilling? What's up?
Yeah.
How come you're so helpful?
How come you're so helpful? You can't be doing this out of the goodness of your heart.
No way.
You cannot just want to help people in this day and age. What does the world come to?
Yeah.
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 Oh.
Paul said, "Oh no, you lost a Discord channel. How will you create another one? Oh yeah, click that plus button." And no, that's the other thing that's so weird. It's like, aren't these free? Like, it's not like you're paying for bandwidth or hosting. I just don't understand it. I don't get it. So
it could be a power trip. I mean, you know what I mean?
I don't know. Maybe that's what it is, but I won't assume. Yeah, I won't assume. Anyway, what else we got here? Shauna, can you show your latest video?
What do you mean?
Didn't you just upload something?
Yeah.
Let me see. What does he say? If I say something on SAC is a good test for a particular issue, it's just because that's one of the only places with tests for this issue. Yeah. Didn't somebody say on Michael on your youth man group, somebody posted their disc, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Matthew Hennick, right?
Yeah.
And Chana, what did somebody say on there?
So
did you see that?
First one Matthew was like, "Hey, that looks just like mine," because I hand wrote the notes, and so there's two Matthews that I wrote on the notes. But yeah, the guy said something about he wouldn't buy it or something. That one.
What did he say?
He said he wouldn't buy it.
He said if other, we don't have to say any specific names, but he said if some other YouTubers made it, take my money.
I saw that.
He called the brown guys amateurs, and then he said he'd buy it from the white guys. I was like, oh, racist much? I'm like, I really wanted it.
In all fairness, he did not say that though.
He did not say what?
The brown guys and white guys, man.
Yeah, no, he did. He named everybody.
Really?
He said Joe. He said Joe,
but he did not. But you're bringing in the race card.
Well, he said the brown guys are amateurs. No, he said Joe and Tell and Cha and Techno Dad are amateurs. But if it was
right, but I'm
white
saying
guy, take my money.
Not specifically say that, though.
Bro.
What are you talking about? It's not.
No, he doesn't like the guy. Just doesn't like facial hair. It's what it is.
That's it. He doesn't like facial hair.
It has nothing to do with that. It's just he likes dudes with no facial hair. See, he wouldn't. If Aaron would have been part of it, he wouldn't have been cool with it either. He just doesn't like facial hair. Come on, bro.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Be real.
What did I miss?
you were right.
I was replying. To somebody here. I'm just like, all of a sudden, somebody's racist.
Get to it, Aaron.
Yeah.
It was just.
Oh God, here we go. We're gonna talk about finances now.
I don't know. Our group is all
all over the place.
We were all over the place.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, why are they lumping me into like? So they talk about the brown guys and the white guy.
No.
So they're talking about us three, and then they're talking about Michael. Like, why are they saying that? I don't get it.
Wow.
It's all right.
No.
It's all right.
We're gonna watch the day that Michael showed up wearing the do-rag.
I have no idea. I'm not in the guy's mind. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I have no idea why he thinks we're amateurs. But if Michael were to do it, and if we're these other YouTube guys were to do it, take my money. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I have no
Joe's
idea.
got way more experience on that end. I mean, in Chana, I know you've got your DJ background, so
Aaron's my favorite. See? There you go.
That's funny.
So I don't know why y'all just didn't put me on the cover.
I was just trying to clarify that he did not specifically say, because you made it sound like in the video that he said brown guys and white guys, and I just want to clear that
me and Joe were amateurs, but he'd buy it from these guys that are just happen to be not brown. That's even
if that was the case, it's not. That's fine. Hey, he's allowed to do whatever he wants. You know what I mean? He can not like facial hair if he wants. That's his prerogative. It has nothing to do with me.
Hilarious.
He can like
facial hair
who he likes, and he doesn't. He doesn't have to like us. That's fine.
Sammy says he's
olive. Yeah, exactly.
Michael is clear up here.
Clear. What the heck does that even
mean?
Michael's
transparent. I can't even see Michael. He's like John Cena over there.
He's John Cena.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, no,
man. Hilarious. All right. So
I mean, it's just a silly comment, just because. Michael, would you say that it's something that you would ever do? Would you ever want to do that? Because to me, it's like, you don't even, you do home theater tours, you have your M-Wave going on. You're not even thinking about making a toolkit. I mean, that's so. Why is it that? Why would you be the authority? But you know, it's what I do. But he's not for it. I have no idea. But I think it's like that one time he's like, I was doing the Dirac art thing, and I'm all about DSP. I'm all about spatial audio. And somebody said, if Aaron did it, I would rather him do it. And I'm like, Aaron doesn't. He's rolling 5.1 right now. He doesn't care about spatial audio.
I mean, hey.
He just got upgraded.
You're not wrong. Never mind. Just go ahead. No, you're not wrong.
Okay. Anyway, I just have to laugh at that. You know what I mean? I just have to laugh. You just have to laugh at these things.
Oh, Jeremy,
where was this?
This is in Michael's Facebook group. Look.
Oh God, I'm going.
There's only white and pink noise.
There's actually brown noise in there.
There is brown noise.
There is brown noise. Yeah,
there is brown noise.
But it's not on the disc. It's not on the disc.
The
disc. Actually, there's only pink noise on the disc.
Tim, please don't make a racist disc thing. Please don't do that.
Please make a racist disc thing about this. But make sure to you got to have like a good thumbnail for it with have the outline of Michael's glasses, but that's it because he's so clear. That's all you say. I mean, even I'm saying, Michael, you're white, dude.
Michael's white. He looks
he's clear.
He looks like a beige.
He looks darker than I do. He got
a nice, pretty good tan though.
He's got a nice tan going on.
Yeah. Well, you were out in the snow, right? Did you wear any sunblock or no? Was it sunny?
Yeah, first day.
Okay.
Overcast second 2 days.
You can get sunburn from the snow.
Yeah,
mostly
get windburn.
Yeah,
dude. The number one accessory in the winter here in Mammoth are these sunglasses. You cannot go outside. You go outside and you are freaking blinded. No,
I always wear my goggles.
We went to a place in Germany, the Zugspitze. It's like the highest point in Germany or something. But when we went there, I didn't take sunglasses with me on that trip, and I had to go buy sunglasses from their little shop, their gift shop, some cheap stuff, just because I couldn't see, dude. It was so freaking bright off that snow. It was crazy. Anyway,
speaking of legendary brown note,
where's he been?
We hadn't seen him in a long time.
I saw his name. He bought a toolkit, and so when I on that big shipment, I'm like, hey, I know this name. Cool. You got one? I haven't seen him.
Yeah, he was making
I've talked to him
for a while.
I've talked to him, and he's like, just had a kid, man. I'm like, okay, I get it. Do your thing.
He's like Villaman. That's why Villaman disappeared.
Exactly.
There he is. He had a kid. Okay, so here's
all right. So this is the video. This is the video. This new one here. Yesterday's one. I actually put out a video on Saturday, which I don't normally do, but since the wife and kid were gone, I had plenty of time in the living room to make videos.
I don't like that face you're making right there with the thumbs up. I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I like it.
I don't like it. If I saw that guy, I'd be like, no, don't like it.
You punch him in the face? Well, I mean, I could change it.
Most punchable face.
Not like it matters. I mean, a good thing it's not your YouTube channel.
I know.
Joe would like it better if you white balanced it a little bit better.
For sure. My teeth aren't white enough in the picture.
Is this? Are y'all getting back into the race stuff again? Y'all gotta stay out.
Oh gosh.
Horrible.
Exactly.
So the newest video is I did a level match on the Denon X3800H using the toolkit, and basically because people have been asking about what is it, like a how-to on how to do this stuff, and so since I had the time and a free free living room over the weekend, I figured why not, and it's pretty straightforward. It's nothing radical, it's pretty cool.
Said the high res menu makes him jealous.
Oh, yeah. You know what, that is
been a long time coming, man.
I mean, it's now finally 1080p, or is it 480?
It's crazy.
No, it's 1080. It was originally 480, right?
Yeah.
And
you could see the pixels in it. Bad.
I do. I
Especially
actually
on a 150-inch screen, it's really obvious then.
Oh yeah, I bet. Yeah, on those bigger screens, yeah, you can see all the flaws, huh? Yeah.
Everything.
I have the 6700, and honestly, I don't want to use it because it has the older menu.
Oh,
It just the new menu just looks nicer.
Did they move stuff around or?
A
is
little
it
bit.
pretty
They
much
kind
the
of
same?
condensed it. Oh, on the new. So hold on. So this video on the right, new menu walkthrough. This one they did actually change quite a bit of stuff in the update. So
you got that the 20 Atmos speakers, right? Remember that 20 height speakers?
Oh yeah. There's a bug in there. If you go and change the front two speakers to full range, the little diagram shows all possible height channels on there. There's like 20 of them. It's pretty hilarious. And so and I said it as a joke. I'm like, they give you something and then you break something else. And then somebody in a Facebook group was like, "You're misleading everybody. There's no 20 high channels." Yeah, dude. Yeah, in a $1,500 receiver, there's no high channels. It was a joke.
Yeah,
You
said no more small and large.
Get it right. Yeah, no more small. So the speaker configuration screen here. Do you want me to pull it up? The speaker configuration screen is now gone. Okay, so there's no small and large or none, right? They combine that with the ampersand screen, so it's all kind of like one thing. Let me find it in the video because I show you guys. Where is it? Where are you? Come on. Okay, here. So we're now. What happened to my StreamYard? Here it is. Okay. So do you see this on the left? This configuration. So this is the new speaker configuration stuff.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
All right. And then you actually have the choice of selecting how many speakers you want to pre-out and how many you want to run off the receiver. So that's kind of cool. You get more flexibility.
Does that
Is it
do the
faster?
new receivers turn off those
I'll be right
specific
back.
channels?
That is the question. I'm assuming so, but I don't know for sure, and I don't want to say yes or no.
Because the old ones, basically, it's either all or nothing. If you went pre-out mode, that means it turns off all internal amplification.
Right.
But it almost gives you the impression, like you said, if you select plus pre-out, then
or this one pre-out only.
Pre-out only, right?
So in this demonstration, I show like, okay, you can do pre-out for the front stage, and then if you want, you can change like the surround. So if you have like your ear level speakers, whatever, or if you want to just power your high channels externally, you can put those to pre-out. I think I don't know what I'm saying. So, yeah, see.
Yeah.
So you can change all these things. The one thing that is weird, since this is a 11 channel receiver, right? And it only powers 9. If you to get 5 height speakers or 6 height speakers, which you can do, you have to turn surround back off here. Otherwise, you won't get that option. So that's that because I was like, hey, why can't I get 5 speakers on the height channel?
Is it more responsive? Like the entire menu system? Do you feel like it's a lot quicker to move through?
I mean, it has some of, plus sometimes it like, see, here's what I'm talking about. See, 5 speakers, and this has to be no for you to do that. So anybody with a 3800 trying to run 5 or 6 height channels, you need to set this to no. So this is one of the big changes in the menu system here. They also changed, where is it? They added new Oro 3D presets, speech and movie, right? So that's new. And what else? Oh, is this where I do the...
What was the thing that one guy was talking about the new Oro layouts? Is that for this one or something else?
Here, Mike, this is what I'm talking about. Look, you see this?
Wow.
You just put it to full range.
Setup, man.
it just messes. Look, there's a floating Dolby speaker right here.
Oh, it's on the side, up firing. That's hilarious.
It's an upward firing that's supposed to be on a surround back, right? But the surround back isn't there. So, oh yeah. Yeah, Joe, that is over.
Is it the one like you can do Oro but like no rear speakers? Like what is that?
Yeah, right here. So now this layout here is that you can see. Can this get bigger? Oh, is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So here, when you've got 6 speakers selected, top, front, top, middle, and then the top rear, this now is an approved Oro 3D layout. So for those of you that have 6 in-ceiling speakers and want to try Oro 3D, you can. I said this in the video that I don't think that's going to make a good.
There are some other weird ones that I've seen though, where there, I don't know if you covered it in this one, like different Oro approved layouts that are like, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. We do know that there's a new CEO over there at Oro Technologies, so they probably want to make sure they have. I've been getting their newsletter. I've signed up for a long time ago, but I haven't seen as many emails until this new guy showed up. Because I'm seeing new emails about new movies that are in native Oro and stuff like that. So maybe they're trying to.
How about I think there was a Pioneer or something, some new AVR.
Yeah.
That also has Oro. Was it their flagship?
Yeah,
one
I don't know which one. I don't know if it's 9-channel or 10-channel or what. Pioneer. It's the LX805. It's the new.
So that's their flagship. But when I saw the front, I kind of laughed at how the screen looked.
Why?
I just feel like we need to go beyond that on something that's a couple $1,000 or whatever.
$3,000.
$3,000. All right, so
3,000. Here,
let's see what $3,000 gets you.
This.
All right, $3,000. Let's see the front of that thing. Oh, yeah, that's advanced tech right there. Look at this. That's like my alarm clock.
Yeah. And I bet you anything, Mike, have you seen the Pioneer menu system? Dude, it's just it's just like your Blu-ray player. It's just like that.
Right.
It's like from the 90s.
All right.
And like, I mean, I've always said AV receivers are like the caboose end of the technological train.
Yeah.
That is still my stance on it. But hey, you know what? There are so many Pioneer fans. I don't even think it matters.
Yeah, some of them are going to be excited about it.
Yeah, no, totally. They're finally getting a flagship AVR. I don't think they've had one in a long time. And, it's got some pretty cool features. This looks pretty much just like the Integra, right? Same platform.
XLR.
XLR input, nice. XLR output for the front, and two front, left, and right, and 2 subwoofer outputs. And then I believe it's a 11 channel. So there's that. Some websites are saying that it's like 150 watts for all channels driven. I'm not buying that.
Ain't happening.
Yeah. Here, 11 channels, 150 watts and 3 zones. Can we get rid of zones already?
Yeah.
Like, no, don't start with that. People
don't
like
you dare
that.
take away my zones.
Aaron wants one in his bathroom.
Oh, dude. Yeah. You know what I put in the bathroom?
I hate that. It says per channel. See if you scroll up.
Which one?
It says 150 watts per channel, 8 ohms. I hate that.
Yeah.
Because there's no way they're doing 150 watts for all 11 channels.
Yeah. I mean, even though where's the inside? Oh, here it is.
Did they say it down at the bottom?
What is that video?
Here,
look at this. This is the amplifier section.
Send it to Aaron to test.
Yeah.
Yes. I'll test it out, man.
Let's see if it's real.
That thing.
Can you do that? Like you can do like all channels driven, like.
But look, it doesn't have an Oro 3D. Oh, you know what? Oro 3D is coming, but wouldn't they still put it on the top of the thing?
You would think they would.
Maybe legally they can't.
On there.
Well, maybe legally they can't. Maybe.
Well, they start shipping in May.
Is there a PDF at the bottom?
What is that?
What will go up?
What are y'all looking at right now?
Downloads. Look at the download spec sheet.
Yeah, it's on. It's they're owned by Vox.
They're owned by Cliff or whoever owns Cliff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that why you were saying that?
Yeah. I thought the Elite brand had gone away like over a decade ago. Is that so? That's not true.
They're trying to come back. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I've got one of the Elites, the 505, I believe.
Yeah, the Blu-ray player.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Y'all remember when they had the
AVR?
You have the LX505?
Yeah.
Don't I have that too? Yeah, I have it. I have it. It's right there. It says Elite on it.
I know. I hadn't even unboxed it yet.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I never saw you make a video about that.
I haven't. It's literally in a box.
Oh, okay.
There's a bunch of things in the box right now.
So, dude, I feel you, bro. I got this Sony sitting in the box right next to me still. Oh, here's the Oro 3D logo. They changed it a little bit. Oh, it's Look, this is also THX certified, so we got everything in here. Atmos.
Does it say what specs on the amp?
On the
I'm just
amp.
curious on there.
Look, it says 2 channels driven.
Well,
do you know how many Facebook posts people are like, oh, my bad. I forgot. It does stupid nonsense.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to share it on the other one.
My bad. Okay, there it goes. Here it is. There it is. 2 channels driven. Do you have any people in the Facebook groups are like, oh no, it's 11 channels, 150 watts?
There's
like,
no
dude,
way. I knew it wasn't happening.
Smoking some good
But see,
stuff.
that's frustrating because the average consumer that reads that page is going to see 150 watts per channel and understand, or at least believe that that's going to be by 11. And that's, to me, that's just like so misleading, man.
Yeah.
I hate it when brands do that. Whatever.
Yeah.
Thank you for the super chat.
Oh,
Ole.
Yeah, put them up on screen.
If that's
yeah, I mean, I'd be curious to see what it actually has. 9-channel Oro, 10-channel Oro. I mean, I'm hoping 11-channel, like whatever.
So the super chat, thank you. He says, how good will old speakers be compared to new speakers? Example, 800 new versus $800 20 years old.
Well, do we have to account for inflation? Because 820 years ago,
there you go.
It was actually a lot of money, right?
Yeah, I don't think old versus new is the issue. Is it a good speaker that you're comparing with a good speaker? I had 40-year-old speakers and they sounded amazing.
Oh, the La Scalas.
Yeah, they were great speakers.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd put them against a lot of current speakers, but
I think generally speaking, newer speakers at the same price are going to be better.
But why?
Not compared to like an $800 used 20-year-old. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that's a fair comparison exactly, but I would just say most new speakers are just going to be better because we have better tools to measure them, and we know more about acoustics and what to look for in the measurements. That's all. I mean, it's just as simple as that. I think you see that a lot of the inexpensive speakers are getting pretty good. Like, oh, how can they do that? Well, that also means that speakers that are higher priced, hopefully, are also better than, speakers 20 years ago. Yeah. Why? Yeah, I mean, we have newer materials. We don't have foam that disintegrates.
They'll last longer.
Look, did you see the the size of those resistors and capacitors in your Scalas? There were, I don't think they need to be.
Yeah, they were
like
pretty
that.
huge.
Yeah, they're. So I'm not saying that old necessarily means bad, because a lot of times some old stuff was just built better.
Sure.
Some new stuff is just new, and then like, hey, let's just use this cheaper stuff. Sometimes that happens too.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, I just think it's just that we know more about what to look for to make a good speaker. Aaron, would you agree with that? Or disagree?
I'm sorry, dude. I wasn't really listening. I was looking at the prices of dummy loads.
Would you say that a new speaker, or let's say $800 speaker, given a specific price point of $800, would you say newer speakers in general are better or worse than 20-year-old speaker in the same price
I would say, generally speaking, the newer ones would be better. But I would also worry about just the degradation of the parts, which I think maybe you were mentioning. Maybe, you know what I mean? Like, dude, if you're buying a 20-year-old speaker, the foam surround's probably coming apart. Maybe the capacitor has leaked. I mean, I would just worry about things like that. Just physical breakdown of the
wear and tear. Wear and tear, right?
Yeah, so I would be hesitant to buy an old speaker like that unless you were going to fully restore it somehow.
How about just like forget the fact that let's just take an $800 speaker, account for inflation. So let's just say 20 years ago, I don't know, $300 or something like that. Whatever the conversion is, right? Let's just say $400.
Brand new back then compared to brand new
400 $400 speaker
think is
versus
what
an
he's saying.
$800 speaker head to head.
Yeah, I would think the new ones would be better. I mean, the technology's come a long way. You know, the understanding of the acoustics has come a long way. But there's a lot of brands too that are just
They're just
still in
making
the
bad
shadows, man.
speakers. Yeah.
They're just doing bad stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it could depend, but I think
Hopefully, if it's with the same brand, they've gotten
Hopefully they've
better and
improved.
better and better, and they've
Yeah.
learned and they've, improved their process.
Right.
But I just don't think you can put a blanket statement that, an $800 this versus an $800 now is going to be, necessarily better or worse.
I could say that really for cell phones, because cell phone $800 cell phone now versus $800.
That's electronics though.
Yeah.
And there's not a whole lot of electronics in speakers. I mean, you got your network, but that's it.
I think it has more to do with just our ability to measure the speaker. Like the things that they were trying to optimize for before. I don't think they were looking at directivity. They were looking at sound power, maybe. I don't know what they were looking at before, but based on the frequency response from a lot of the older speakers, it's not what they're tuning for now. That we just know better. We know how to tune a speaker appropriately. So it's just that.
Yeah, I'm just always hesitant on those like absolute answers.
It's not. Yeah, for sure, it's not an absolute. There could be an old speaker that's just awesome, right?
Sure.
Yeah,
that's totally possible. Yeah.
I mean, Aaron's still rocking that Bose 901.
I am. Yeah. They're right behind me somewhere.
Yeah, but I think if you're generally speaking,
over there.
Generally speaking, I hope that technology and has made it so that we can make better stuff cheaper. And if that's not the case, then that sucks. Yeah. Let's see here. Other super chats. Bodie asked, "What's the difference between height designation and actual placement? I have 6 on-ceiling speakers, but I told my 6700s they were front and rear heights and top middle." I think, didn't we do this test in the after show last week? I went and I just changed the settings for Oro. Basically what we found was it doesn't know if it's actually on ceiling. It doesn't know, and it doesn't actually change the content that it puts up there. And I have to be specific about that. I'm on vacation. I don't remember the exact thing, but I think we were testing to see if placing a speaker or setting it as front height versus top height, something like that, top middle, top front, if it would change the content that's played to it. And on the Denon 6700H, it made no difference at all, right? Changing those two didn't change the content that was played to it. And I used the calibration toolkit to see, and it was just the same exact thing. Didn't change anything. So, yeah.
Hey, I got a quick question for you guys.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, that's good then. Cool.
Kidding.
Sure. At SC Audio asked in here if I was going to be testing like multiple channels, and I told him, yeah, look at there you go. And I replied back to him, I was like, heck no, because it cost $700 to buy the resistors that I needed to do the testing for what I've got now. The reason is because I need like a lot of power handling and things like that. But if I'm testing multiple channels, it's because I'm testing AVRs, right? Most likely I'm testing AVRs. Most of those are just standard 8 ohm, right? Do they go down to 4 ohm sometimes?
I mean, some can.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I bought 8 ohm resistors and they were 250 watt compatible or took up to 250 watts, that's more than enough, right?
Completely.
Probably, yeah.
I'll do that then. They're $30 each. That's a whole lot better than, that's a whole lot better than what
you're not going to get any AVR that even 2-channel AVR isn't going to put out 250 a channel.
Yeah. I'll do that. I could do that. So that's good.
When does it get expensive? When you start having to like?
Yeah, well, so when you're dealing with both the power and you're dealing with distortion of the resistor itself, because when I was researching this, I found that a mirror would be one of them. I talked to the guys at Purify; they also let me know, and I talked to a couple other electronics designers, and they told me that yes, there are resistors that when you test them, they have their own basically issues. So they can cause the distortion in the measurement to increase just from the resistor itself. So you have to get a very good resistor that can not contribute any distortion into the measurement itself. So that's why
it's not just about tolerance, right?
Right.
It's not only
it's
about
not
tolerance.
just about tolerance. No. Well, I mean, so you want tolerance because if I say I'm testing the 8 ohm, I want to be testing the 8 ohm, not 9.
Not,
you know what I mean?
Or not 4. Right. Not 4.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So most of the resistors that I bought are within like 1%. You know, some of them might be. The ones I bought are all within 1%, I think. But my main question was, what I'm thinking is I can use my good load with the low like distortion resistors. My good load. That's right. That's right, Michael. With the low distortion resistors to be the ones that are on the measure channels. But I'm using the crappy ones just to load down the AVR.
Yeah.
Doing your crappy load.
My crappy load. Y'all are ridiculous. I can't go anywhere with you guys.
Hey, so Aaron, how many channels can you test at once? Can you test like 9 or 11 or something?
2, right?
2.
He's
Yeah,
2
that's
channel
the limit
right
of the APX. You can buy Audio Precision sells like an 8-channel acquisition setup thing, but it's like way too much money, man.
You know, I went from I can buy to Chana you can buy.
You can buy. Exactly.
For me.
Because in my head, I'm like, how much is it, dude? How much is it? Let's go. That's like literally what I was thinking.
Go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not happening. But what I'm thinking is I could just measure 2 channels at a time. You know, if I really wanted to do that, or I could just use the dummy load, just load down all the channels, and all I got to do is measure 2 and say, all right, well, this is what it's doing out of the 2.
Gosh, that's what.
So that'd be pretty easy to do.
Oh gosh.
This guy.
The dude's in the chat.
Watch out for this guy.
That's hilarious.
Wow.
Oh, hey, what's up, Elon? By the way.
Oh, Elon,
hey, buddy. I didn't see pop in. I was too busy laughing at IMZ.
Serenade me to sleep or engage in some pillow talk with today's look.
Your background.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Step into my boudoir.
That's creepy.
And Angela's the photographer. Joe's on the bed.
Right.
Oh, Joe's
OnlyFans.
Like
Joe's OnlyFans.
Like he was on the snow.
Oh, yeah.
Got his butt up in the air.
Oh, what are y'all talking about?
The picture he posted of Joe in the snow. He's like,
don't post that picture.
He's like,
don't post that picture
in the snow and his butt in the air.
Make it public. Make it public.
Oh, gosh.
Looks hilarious.
Hey, Sean, I sent you an email about SACT video stuff. Yeah. No, I saw the email. You know, I was driving for like 7 hours for the last 7 hours, so I don't really respond. I can kind of like see things here and there and what these jokers are sending in chats, but yeah. I think there's a common misconception with people watching videos. Like, I release a video and you guys comment on it, which is fantastic, cool, but like, I got 15 other things I'm doing in the background, so if I don't get back to you, it's because I'm putting out fires over here. I'm like the you know, the goddess with like 8 arms, the Shiva, you know, doing all kinds of stuff in the background. You can't
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, no.
What?
Yes.
Gotcha, Aaron. Gotcha, man. All right. WA, thank you for the super chat. Will the $7,000 Marantz AV10 Pre-Pro be an upgrade in multi-channel music sound quality over the $2,700 Yamaha CX-A 5200? Pleased
Paul
with the Yamaha
no.
Now. Hey, isn't that what Paul has? I think that's what Paul has, right?
Paul would say no.
For sure, then.
Yeah.
For sure.
100%. It's an upgrade. No, I don't know.
think the key is that very last part. You're pleased with the Yamaha.
Yeah.
So what makes you want to upgrade to something else? I mean, that's a big jump for something that you're already satisfied with. And I know the term ignorance is bliss, you know, but I don't think you're going to be like, oh my gosh, this was trash if you love that sound, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
Sometimes you
are
gotta
you
just sit
doing
back and enjoy what you got.
are you doing multi-channel music sound quality? Are you doing party mode? Is it all channel stereo that you're doing? I don't. Or are we talking about actual 5.1 music or Dolby Atmos music? What are we talking about? Because now that's confusing. And here come the wipeout jokes. Do not pass. Do not collect $200.
Junior says Yamaha has better DACs.
You know, it does, but is that only for 2-channel or is it like a multi-channel DAC?
And can you hear the difference between DACs?
No, I can't. It's just knowing. My DAC is better than yours.
Easy.
Your DAC is bigger than mine? What?
I mean,
Listen, this is gonna be
hey, you said it, not me.
Tim.
All right, so I don't know, man. It's a tough sell. Paul says LOL because he knows you should go for the Marantz. But I don't know. Here. But you lose MusicCast if you go to the Marantz. So if you use MusicCast, then yeah, like Mike said, if it's not a DAC measuring contest, if it's a you're already happy with it, don't change anything.
He looks like he's telling a joke in his profile, right?
Who, this guy?
Yeah.
Hey. Like he made a bad pun.
Elon asked, the new Pioneer LX805 we were just talking about says it supports Dolby Atmos music. So is that going to decode Atmos music tracks better on Tidal or Apple Music, etc.? I don't know. I think they're just using it as a catchphrase. It does Dolby Atmos music. Every Dolby Atmos receiver can, but you gotta tell these consumers something.
Marketing.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, I think
Dolby Atmos music.
Dolby Atmos. I think sometimes it won't decode it properly from certain apps though.
Really? I mean, how many apps are there? Isn't it just Tidal and Apple Music, or can you get it from Qobuz?
Tidal, Apple Music, and Amazon, right?
Oh, Amazon will do it?
I think so. And so I don't know if all of them, if it just straight up works on all of them. You know, because on Android you can download the Apple Music app, right?
Yeah.
But only recently, I don't know how recent, but it says you can get spatial audio using the Android app. So it's something that has to be compatible.
Yep. Here's something that Joe wanted to know about.
What?
Josh says, I tried 6 overhead speakers with Oro 3D on the 3800, and the middle channels does the voice of God with a center image.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I like that.
That's pretty cool.
Because that'll make it easy for you to switch back and forth between an Atmos layout and Oro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you won't have to have that third speaker up there.
Yeah, that's the one that I'm not so sold on. Voice of God channel, I'm not super sold on it. I think maybe the 2 middle ones would probably sound better. I don't know. I haven't tried it, so I don't know.
All right.
What else?
All right.
Anything else? You guys want to say anything about the Dirac finally being on Denon and Marantz?
No, nobody wants to say anything about it.
No? Nobody? Surprised. Nobody cares?
I mean,
who cares?
I thought it would be
somebody tried it and gave a warning on my video. Don't try it. And then there were some replies. So I clicked on the show replies and somebody's like, are you sure you didn't have your settings wrong or something like that? And then the dude originally said, don't try it. It sounds garbage, or whatever. He's like, oh yeah, I tried it again. And it's so much better. So, with Dirac Live, there are some hoops you got to jump through. One of the things is sometimes it's just outputting a volume that's way too silent. And it took me forever to figure that out. I'm like, oh, I got to raise this volume bar here, and then it'll actually start going. And it takes a very long sweep. It's like, so if you have some other things, like I got dogs running around, or my wife comes in to microwave something, ka-chunk on the microwave door, you gotta redo that. And then now they give you some great flexibility with the room curve unless you don't know what you're doing, in which case you can make it sound like garbage pretty quickly. So, and then like which room curve is better for your room? Does Dirac know? No. Do you know? No. So then be careful is the name of the game. Be careful. But yeah, I haven't tried it. People have been asking me. I have two Denon. I have the Denon 3800, the Marantz AV10. Haven't tried it. And as I said in the video, there might be something better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like what?
Joe, any chance you want to hit at a potential release for Magic Beans? I mean, we're aiming for.
You mentioned it in the last podcast.
Weren't you talking about it today? I jumped in. It was all about house curves.
Yeah, we're aiming for end of the month. I don't know if we're gonna hit it, but we're definitely gonna try. So,
yeah, I gotta test it out again, and then Joe's like, "Oh, I gotta give you another update." I'm like, "Oh man, it's a lot of work.
There's a lot,
a lot of work."
Yeah, but, I did Tim's entire system with it, and he is running an Arkham. Is that how you say it?
Arkham. Yeah.
Arkham. Mm-hmm.
Arkham.
Arkham.
I say Arkham.
Is that the insane asasylum in Batman?
Yeah. That's the Batman.
Arkham. AV40.
Chat GPT.
Ask Chat GPT. Yeah. So, we did the whole. He has a whole Oro 13.1, something like that.
Oh,
something like 9. I don't remember 11.1 how they do it. He just has every single one except center height, I believe. Is that right? He might have center height too. I don't remember, but we did the whole thing, and he does have Dirac on there. He has Dirac with bass control, and
that didn't help.
He said that. I think he said it sounded better, right? So, I mean, he can chime in. He said that's what he said, but tell the truth, Tim. Tell the truth. 13.2, he says.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, he does have center height. Okay. Yeah, tell us how it was, Tim. And if you say that it was garbage and totally not worth it, then don't worry. Then you're fired.
Perfect.
No.
Thank you, Angela.
No. That is not true. You got to be honest. Itching to get it. Yeah, thank you guys for the support, by the way. Yeah, I'm excited. To see. And then you guys can say whether it sucks or not.
Did you already cover this A/B comparison with Dirac and Odyssey on the same AVR?
I didn't do on the same AVR because it wasn't available before, but I did do like a near field kind of calibration. I just did it live, and I did it with I think a 4700H, and then I did it with a NAD T778. It wasn't like super scientific. I just wanted to see what it would come up with, like what correction it would try to do, and yeah, just totally different target curves. Like at the end of the day, the main difference that was so super noticeable was just the target curves are so different.
Mm-hmm. The house curves?
Yeah, the house curves were very different on them. And of course, Dirac does a little bit of, does different stuff with the phase alignment. And I don't know if Odyssey attempts to do that. That's really what Dirac talks about a lot. But I mean, in your experience, so you have Dirac, right, Chana?
Yeah.
I think you've liked what it did.
I like Dirac over Odyssey for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
In general, I mean, I've always said auto correction. If you're gonna go 100% auto and just, that's all you want to do, Dirac is probably your best bet.
I would agree.
Right?
Yeah. But I mean, I haven't heard anything in the Lingdorf.
I know, but that's like so next level price wise, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about just a normal, only want to spend like $2,000 or less type of person. If you can find they're $2,000 or less, right? The Onkios.
Yeah.
I think it's probably your best bet.
Mm-hmm.
But how about Dirac versus a manual calibration? Your experience, your personal experience, even manual with your own manual calibration.
I would go with my manual calibration.
Okay. That's just because you came up with the toolkit and you want people to buy it.
Actually, the time alignment took me quite a while to do it in here in the studio. And once I wrapped my head around exactly what was going on, then I was just like, oh my gosh, like this is magical. And I mean, simply put, it's what you were saying earlier, you know, with the manual calibration, with magic, even with magic beans, you know, take it up another notch. You're creating a house curve, a custom house curve to your room, right? Everybody's using this Harman target curve. Joe, you talked to Dr. Floyd Toole. Where did he get that from?
It wasn't intended to be a house curve in that way. He was just
like
saying,
a speaker, like some JBL speaker.
Yeah, they were testing the JBL M2, and they tested it in a bunch of different rooms, and the target curve average of all those rooms was that curve that you see.
So
but
the average, of all of these rooms. So now that's just like the target for everybody.
Yeah, none of which were your room.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
and you probably don't have JBL M2s either.
So the big thing is, you know, with all if we're choosing a manual calibration, I would go manual calibration over an automatic, because there are things, the two things that auto calibration can't do. They don't know your room, and they don't know your speakers. They might know where your speakers. Look, perfect example. Does this look straight? Okay. Here's my room. It goes like this, and then it goes boom. So the AVR knows where the speakers are, boom, but they don't know there's this fucking turn, boom, that has to happen, right? And they don't know exactly like what the room is doing to the speakers. You know, you do manual calibration. You take a near field measurement of the speaker, then go to the main listening position, take another measurement, and now the computer can figure out what the room is doing to that speaker. So there's a lot of stuff that, you know, the automatic is just kind of.
Reverend says, I'd be curious if you matched the target curves, if you'd notice any difference. And it relates to this question that Dirac has impulse response correction. And I think that I don't know if that's really more of a marketing thing, because the fact that Odyssey also runs sweeps, right? They can also correct for impulse response. There's nothing stopping them, you know, from doing that same thing. And I looked at some old papers from them, and it seems like they are doing impulse response correction. They're just not marketing it in the same way. So I don't know if they do it differently or if one does it better. It's kind of something that would be hard to test for me. Maybe somebody else could do that exact test to see if one does a better phase alignment across the entire frequency range. Is that something that you notice, though, Chana, aside from the target curve? Let's just say you set the same target curve on both. This is probably a good experiment. But do you think that you'd hear something different aside from the tonality with Dirac? Does it do something that the other ones just don't do?
You mean the auto corrections?
Yeah. Have you heard anything that it does that none of the other ones do?
I mean, I think the overall experience moving from Odyssey to Dirac is just better. Right. Could I really pinpoint, it's, you know, taking, you know, 10 dB off of this or adding a few dB to the 2500? I don't know that. It's an overall experience is better. You know, watching the same scenes.
Okay. But you can't attribute it to anything specific. Like, it could be the target curve. It could be something else. Like,
there's too many factors to like. And then, I mean, if I haven't used the SACT to like compare things where things are actually moving around a lot slower. When you're watching movie scenes and stuff, like things happen so fast, it's so hard to hear and then try to tune in to like really fine details because it's just happening so fast. And, you know, like Mike always says, our hearing memory, or whatever you call it, it's just audible memory. Yeah. It's a little rough unless it's like maybe captured so we can put it in a video and just bam, 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 go A, B, you know.
Yes.
Elon, you can take the Dirac Live off at the front of that. That's what that is about. But yeah, I can't wait to test out a little bit more and listen to some more music and movies.
Let's just answer a few more questions and it's time to
roll. Get out of here. Oh my gosh, 6 o'clock. I have RP 160Ms as fronts. one is in a corner and the other is on a wall behind it. And because of bass differences, would I get better plug ports?
Front's one in the corner, one in the wall behind it. Aaron.
Oh,
I don't know if you're paying attention, but you've done some port plugging. I don't do much port plugging.
Easy.
I'm just saying, you're the port plugging guy.
Where's that sound effect?
I don't have that. We gotta find that. Let's record that, Mike.
Oh man.
I looked at
Oh,
Mike's
man.
face and I lost it. Aaron, you're the port plug. Oh, great. Oh gosh.
Port plugging professional.
Yes. Triple P for short. You need your port plugged? Call Aaron's Audio. Plug in all your ports for free. What was the question, Joe?
It's right there. It's right there. He asked.
One or the other has no wall behind it because of the bass differences. So honestly, try it, right? Like if you feel like it helps, then do that. I mean, the technical answer is whichever one sounds best to you, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would probably say do them the same and then run EQ and let EQ fix the other one. But at the same time, it's hard to say, you know.
How about this? What would you look for? What would you look for that could possibly be like, okay, for sure, this is an issue that could resolve?
If it's really boomy bass, then stuff in the port on that would probably help it. If it's that close to a wall.
Okay. So like what would the phenomenon be though? Like cancellation? Oh my god. look at
You guys
these
need to
guys.
take a break.
How
You
old
guys
are
need
you?
to take a break.
All right.
Look at
I was
Joe
tan.
is
Now I'm
turning into
red.
dad mode.
In this episode, the children are on the lower half.
I know.
Those are the adults.
I feel like I'm back in middle
See
school.
what the snow
man.
does to you?
Oh my
Look at these
god.
guys.
Oh, ridiculous. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
God,
Now
there you
what?
go.
Oh,
You
hold
guys
on.
are so
Oh
lazy.
my mercy.
Provide resistance to Aaron's
Listen.
load. Oh, he
Wow.
sums
We're
it
not
all
even.
up.
This is not a professional channel. Somebody's going to
No,
watch
not
this
at all.
and be like, "Man, these guys are lame." Like, let me just go
What
ahead
are
and
you guys
inform all of
watching
you now.
this for?
Yeah, this
You
is
guys
not.
shouldn't.
We're not professionals.
This is like most of this has nothing to do with audio. Actually,
Man.
Most of the time,
I
it
haven't-
doesn't.
yeah. We
So-
just pretend.
So, should he plug the ports?
Yeah, should he plug the
I'd say
ports?
it depends.
What should he look for? What is the
Yes,
one
I-
thing he's like? What's the
So
area that
if
he's
you
going
put
to
a
focus in
speaker
on?
next to a wall, like right up
Mhm.
next to a wall, most of the time it's going to make it sound a bit more boomy, things like that, right? So the daily plug, Jesus.
Oh,
We're trying
you
here.
you guys are
We're gonna disable
killing me in the
comments.
chat,
We're gonna have to
man.
disable
Oh my
comments.
gosh.
I see what direction we need to take this channel.
The daily
see.
plug.
I think
Yeah.
I just saw a lot of thumbs up on this video. What is up with that?
I know all of a sudden,
A bunch of thumbs.
thumbs up.
Plug the one port and see what you think. Just go with what sounds good to you, man. I mean, you could let your EQ try to fix some of it, but if it just sounds really extra boomy, then plug the port.
Okay, so here's what I would say. The one reason why I've seen that makes a lot of sense to do that is if you hear resonance coming from the port, like
Yeah.
bad noises that you wouldn't normally hear, but it's coming through because it's coming a lot of times from front ports, but that's a rear port, I assume. I don't know those speakers.
Rear port, yes,
Rear port, okay, rear port, yes,
Yes.
rear port, yes,
Rear port.
ports.
Yeah.
Yeah, just try it. If there's no bad sounds coming out of it, yeah, you're good. Scrub and get man. I think we gotta go. I need to.
We need to get out of here.
How will Magic
Man.
Bands compare to art? Okay, so art does its thing. All right. So anybody who's asking about art, it really works to do some pretty nutty stuff that you wouldn't normally be able to do, like like fix nulls. Like you can actually, fix some of those things that you wouldn't be able to before. So yeah, Magic Beans can't do that. But what it can do is give you the proper target curve that you can use with Dirac art. So even if you have art, it's still going to make its recommendation. It's still probably not going to be what I believe is the correct target curve, which is based on measurements and based on what this, based on your speakers, your room. But they're just not calculating that the way that I would do it. They're kind of, I just don't agree with them in how they do that. So yeah, I like what they're doing with art, but I think that those are two things that work and they're complementary. They're not two things that are competing against each other.
Joe, are you going to M-Wave?
I will not. Maybe next time. Time.
I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to be able to or not. So,
which one? Where are you going?
I'd like to. M-Wave. I know they're still doing they're doing Audio Advice Live as well, and I do plan to go on that. Like I've already made commitments to that.
Yeah, I'm going to be there for that as well.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think the three that I'll be. Yeah, I'll be at CEDIA, Audio Advice Live, and M-Wave.
So no response yet, Michael, on the whether we can have manual calibration compete? Or...
No, let's set up call. We'll set up a call. Yeah, this week.
Sounds good. No plug talk.
What's that?
No plug talk. Straight business.
No.
Let's do it.
You guys are off the chain.
No shameless plug.
You guys.
No shameless plug. Oh, let's end it with that, dude.
Hey, we've been good, man. These guys in the chat.
I know, right?
The one guys in the chat, like the show comment.
No, I'm hands off, man. Yeah, I don't even have control.
Of course, it's Chana.
I'm not even logged in.
I didn't do any.
Look at his smile.
You look so guilty right now.
Chana's starring all of them.
Yeah, he is.
He's gonna make sure he hits them all.
We got to come back and talk to this.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with all of us here at the Daily Plug.
Daily Plug.
Oh gosh.
The Daily HiFi podcast. We do this every Monday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern.
We do the plug every Monday.
If you want to become a patron and join us in the after show happening right after this broadcast, go to patreon.com/dailyhifi.
It's just worse. Don't do it. It's just the same thing we're just doing, but much, much worse.
It gets really
on behalf of myself, Michael, Aaron, and Joe, we will see you all next time. And for those of you